So as promised in the last tutorial, I told you that we would start making some Detroit tutorials. So today is going to be the first Detroit tutorial. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of these because there's so many different ways you could go with making these types of melodies and these beats, especially when you get into like sampling and stuff like that. There's just a whole bunch of different ways and styles you could go about making the melodies. So let's go. So I got Keyscape loaded up. I'm just going to start off with the cinematic piano right here. It always sounds good. I'm going to bring the tempo up to like 190 something. Probably do like, I don't know, 191. You could also create them around like 100, a little bit lower. You could do up to 200. You could be in like that 180 range, 170. It really just depends. I'm gonna be at like 191 for this. And I kind of want to go for like a darker feel, like a more evil feel. So I'm gonna use a lot of notes that are very close together. I'm gonna start off with like a chord with a lot of tension and then build a top line melody on that and see where we can go from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and create this in D minor. I'm gonna start off on the root note of that scale. Right there's a nice chord. So right here we have the D minor triad. And if I drop one note down on this third right here to E, gives it like a more dark feel, right? So I could go something like this and play them kind of all together, but like in a strummed pattern. And then maybe I can add in another note like here. Then on this one, to switch it up, let's take this E right here and bring it up an octave, control up arrow. Let's hear what this sounds like. Then we'll duplicate it over here with control B and go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's hear what this sounds like. Smooth, right? Then we just need a top melody on this. So a lot of these beats will have like a faster melody, like da 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 da. So we go ahead like here and then build off these tension notes right here and go something like this. And we can make it even faster if we wanted to. Go like this, back down. Then utilize these tension notes here. And then you could bring it up an octave. Right? And we could duplicate this over. So this sounds cool, but it's not what I want to do for this specific melody, but you can create them just like that and kind of have like a faster melody on top of the chords, or just start off with that faster melody. So I'm going to start the melody off right here on these tension notes that are close to each other from E to F. And then I'm going to go up to these tension notes right here that are close together, and we're just going to go up the scale. So we could do like a scale run up and then back down. Maybe we like da, 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 something like that. We can hit this F up here. Tension note back down to E. Ooh. Let's randomize these. Alt R. And then hold Alt down with the mouse wheel. Let's bring this over here. Let's make these a little bit longer so they can kind of drag out. And then let's bring this over here and go up an octave. Then we can also add in the root notes lower, like this. But real subtle, just like that. That's fire. Now we could layer this. So the next thing I want to do when I get like a nice chord progression and melody down like this is start to layer in sounds and just completely change this up. So I'm going to go into my Eternal Analog Lab Bank and find like a bell that sounds really cool. Then run it through like Portal, a bunch of reverb and stuff, and see if I can come up with something cool for this. I layered the piano with Bell 4 right here from my Eternal Analog Lab Bank. And then I added in this effects processing. I have Portal right here. This is the preset, is down at like 20 something %. Then I added in some reverb right here. We could actually turn it up a little bit more. And I'm actually gonna change this to smooth plate right here. EQ on it, just cutting out some lows, some resonant frequencies, and then a little bit of high end to tuck it back. We get this now. So another thing you'll see on a lot of these beats is there's like strings, violins and stuff, kind of depending again what type of melody it is. Like I said, there's a bunch of different types of melodies when you're making these Detroit beats, especially when you're like flipping samples to make Detroit beats. They always just sound crazy when the drums are added in. But for this one, we are keeping it more of like a darker feel. So I'm gonna go ahead inside of Eternal and get a violin and a string and try to just add in little accents and phrases that kind of just add to the suspense of this. So I got this violin pulled up right here. Something like that. Over here, we'll have it play again. I want to change something over here. Maybe like that. Goes to E, we go lower maybe. That sounds pretty cool. Let's duplicate it again and get another string. I'm gonna get this pluck string right here, and I kind of want to add in like a da-da-da-da, something like that somewhere. Every time I hum stuff, I'm like, bro, it sounds crazy, but in my head it sounds so much better. Something like that. I don't know where I'm putting it. I'm just getting the idea out. Yeah, like that. And then again over here, but lower. And let's just add in something here. I don't know. That sounds kind of cool. I don't even know what I'm doing right there, but it sounds cool. We'll leave it. Maybe just turn it down a little bit. I'm gonna get one more string, so let's duplicate this again. Last string we're gonna add is strings 1 right here. This is kind of gonna be more following the root notes, probably just kind of in the background. That's fire, bro. Ooh. Wait, we can make this cinematic. Hold up. Ooh. Oh, that just changed the whole thing. There's so much like tension right here, and then over here it goes a little bit more crazy and calms down when we get over here. Watch, listen to this. And then smooth, it just builds up. I don't even think I want to add a lead to this. So instead of adding like a whole lead, I just got lead 3 right here, and I added in 1 note right here. Then I ran it through Portal just to give like the beginning some texture. This preset from Portal is at, what is this, like 50 something %. And then I EQ'd out a lot of the high end right here, just shelved it out. And that gives us this sound right here. So it's really more of the tail that plays out over here that I like, not so much the beginning. That's why I EQ'd it out. And it just adds a little bit in the background, but nothing that you really hear unless you listen closely, which is always cool in beats and melodies, and I like to do that. Now we get started with the drums. All right, so for the drums, I got a couple different things loaded up. All these LS ones are from Resupply, which is gonna be the snare. We have an open hat right here, another open hat, hi-hat. And then these ones right here are from my boy Infinite. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are familiar with him. Amazing producer. So from his Infinite go-to drum kit, we got a crash and 3 perks right here. There's a whole bunch of perks in that kit that are perfect for these types of beats, but these are the 3 that I thought would fit this one. And he did hook it up with the discount code, so if you want to go check out that kit or any of the kits on his site, I'll leave a link to that in the description and it'll automatically be applied. So for these, you're going to 2-step the hat. If you're creating this in like halftime around like 100 or 90, you go ahead and just go like this with the hi-hat. But when we're up at this high of a BPM, all we need to do is 2-step it, right? These beats, the drums, most of the hi-hats is really just a 2-step. So that's not to say that there's not times when there's rolls on the hi-hats and pauses, but a lot of the time you will hear like a consistent 2-step. And then the main thing is the snare, having it pitched up, and then the 808 pattern, right? So we're gonna have the 2-step on the hi-hat like this. And then we'll go ahead and put the snare right here on the 3. So what we need to do is actually go in here and duplicate this over. So we'll have these just going for like 8 bars like that. And then we'll go inside of the snare like this. And what we're actually gonna do is bring this up a whole octave. So control, up arrow, and now you're gonna start to hear like that Detroit snare on this. Right? So we'll just go over here, duplicate this over with control B. Then we'll do it again and again. But another thing you can do that you'll hear sometimes is that this snare is actually placed right over here. And if you look at it, it's just hitting on the 4. So if you're counting 1, 2, 3 is going to be here, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 is where this one hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. To make it easier when you're at this fast of a BPM. And then we'll go over here and only have it happen on like this second bar right here. So we'll go ahead, duplicate this over like this. And then let's go ahead and add in maybe like another snare that's kind of like an off snare. Just like that. That sounds cool. And then we can actually just have this go and be duplicated there. Right, so we're pretty much almost there. We just need to add in like some open hi-hats, some percussion, and then we'll get into the 808, which is really like the bounce of these, but that snare too. You don't always need to be doing like this snare right here that's on the 4, but it does sound cool sometimes, so I like it, and it keeps it like, I don't know, this just sounds really cool. You definitely need to have your snares pitched up. They're not gonna be down like this. It's gonna be up like this, so just go ahead and pitch them up. So let's go get this open hi-hat going. I'm gonna just follow what I'll probably have the 808 doing. So we'll keep it like that. Then we have another open hi-hat right here. We'll probably keep, I don't know, maybe we get this open hi-hat in without the 808, but sometimes I like to have the 808 going so I could already hear the bounce. That sounds cool though. Let's get this infinite crash right here on the 1. And then of course, you know, we need a bell. Infinite has one in his kit right here. So I'm gonna just place one right here. I'm gonna add a little bit of reverb to this. So I'm gonna just have that hitting on the root notes here. So now I'm gonna add in the 808 and then get to these percussions later, which is like a real cool shaker, and then this little laser right here. So the 808, one of the most important parts of these beats. I'm gonna be following the root notes for this. The pattern is super important, so we'll get into that. But the notes in between, I'm gonna be utilizing, again, these tension notes that you see here and here and here and here. They're gonna be different in whatever scale you're in, but just look for those notes that are right next to each other. So for this, we're gonna start on the root note right here, but I'm gonna play it up here 1. And the bounce you're gonna wanna go for is the boom, boom, boom. But first, I'm gonna put a soft clipper on the master, and you wanna have a shorter 808. If you have like the Spins 808, you could actually just shorten that and then boost it up, and then you'll get that sound, or just find like a short 808 that matches perfectly. The rhythm that you're gonna wanna go for is like this. So let's go ahead and place that in here. So we have one here. The next one's gonna be right here. And then we're gonna skip 2 more. So if you look real close, if we're in cell right here, you're gonna place it here on 4, then you could just skip 2 right here, place another one. This is gonna be the same length as 4 squares here. 1, 2, skip, place right here. So that is the main part of this, right? Just that boom, boom, boom. And that's gonna hit like every 2 bars like this. And then we're gonna go up to the next one. And then from here, you can kind of mess around. So maybe we want these 3 to be placed on the 3rd bar, right? So we have it hidden there. And then on this one, we might want to get rid of these 2 or just one of them. Or we can go like this, place one here and then another one here. So I kind of like that. I kind of like this one coming in later and having that 3 hit there, the boom, boom, boom. It's super important to have that in there. You can start off with it, like I said, but sometimes having it be a little bit later sounds cool too. I kind of like how this sounds. I have it going from F down to E, back up to F, but I brought it up an octave. And it's just a little bit of a change up here till we drop back in. Ooh. All right, so that laser from Infinite's kit I added right here at the end of the 8th bar. And the reason I added it here is because I have the 808 that drops down from here to here. So I have these 2 hitting there and it just adds in a whole bunch of bounce. Watch. It's perfect. Just turn this down a little bit. That part's crazy. Now what I want to do is pitch this up and see if it sounds like any better. It's going to get more energy. So I'm going to just select all these right here. It's all the melodic elements in the 808. And then I'm going to go over here, transpose selected. And then if you want to go down, you would do like -2, you know, -5. Or if you want to go up, you could just do 2 and it'll go up by 2, up by 5, whatever. So let's try up by 2 so it's not too high. And let's see what this sounds like now. I feel like it's going to give it just a little bit more energy, but I don't know. You never know when you're pitching stuff. Sometimes it doesn't sound good. Sometimes it does. It's always a surprise to me. So let's see. Oh, that's fire. Oh, hold on. What if we drop these down? Bro, this is a whole different vibe. This is fire. That laser effect. All right, so as mentioned, this was the first Detroit tutorial. I'm gonna be doing a whole bunch of these. Let me know in the comments down below what you think and if I should do like a sampled one. I'm gonna arrange this so we can hear the full beat. If you want any of my kits, there'll be a link to those in the description. Infinite's kits, there'll be a link to those in the description as well. Make sure to join the Discord, link to that in the description as well. Let's hear the full beat.